Hey guys, welcome back to Baseball Busters. Today we'll talk about the current power rankings in the MLB. Let's head into it.
And he pops one up into shallow right.
On June the 1st, the Mets cruised to a 5-0 victory against a weak Nationals club. I say relative because, as we all know, nothing in Major League Baseball is ever simple. Because ace pitchers Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer were on the disabled list, it was impossible for them to get back to where they were in the standings. Even so, the Mets have been making it seem simple. They led the reigning champions Braves by 10.5 games and Phillies by 12.5 games. The Phillies and Braves were projected to compete heading into the season, while the Marlins were considered one of the potential breakthrough teams. And the Mets had a huge lead over the rest of the league entering into the third month of the season. It's still possible that it'll be insurmountable, we'll have to wait and see. However, the story is deepening. The Mets haven't even had a bad season yet. They split 4 games with the Dodgers in Los Angeles, dropped 2 of 3 to the Padres, and then won 2 of 3 in Anaheim. Despite this, the rankings have changed. The Phillies had just won 9 games in a row coming into Sunday, bringing them within 8 games of the Nationals. The Mets beat them on Sunday, extending their winning run to 9 games. Even so, it slid back to the point where it wouldn't be the most ridiculous comeback of all time. They aren't, however, the main menace. The Braves are still undefeated in June. The reigning champions have won 11 straight games and are just 5.5 games out of first place. William Contreras and Michael Harris, both rookies, are sparking the offense, whilst veterans Matt Olson, Dansby Swanson, Austin Riley and Ronald Acuna are also hitting nicely. The bullpen has been outstanding, with Max Fried looking like a Cy Young candidate and Kyle Wright looking like a frontline starter. The Mets are still the favourites to win this game. After all, they still own a 5.5 game lead. According to Sportsline, they are 80% favourites to win the division. The major message is that this race, which seemed to be a joke only a week and a half ago, now has a chance to be a race. Oh, and there's a lot of possibilities for competitive play. There are still 15 games left between the Braves and the Mets, as well as 15 games remaining between the Phillies and the Braves. Between the Phillies and the Mets, there are 7. 1 Yankees, 44-16. Last week, 1. DraftKings World Series odds 5-1.
Popped up.
The Yankees climbed to the top of our power rankings the previous week, and it didn't take much deliberation to decide that they should remain there. The New York Yankees were the only team to get all first place votes this week, and with good reason. They humiliated the Chicago Cubs by sweeping them at Yankee Stadium over the weekend, whilst outscoring them by a combined score of 28-5. This includes a blowout on Sunday by a score of 18-4, which finished up a week in which they went 5-1. The Yankees continue to dominate the major leagues in major statistical categories whilst showing no signs of slowing down, including home runs 98, WRC plus 121 and team ERA 2.84. 2 Mets 40-22, last week 3. DraftKings World Series odds 7.5-1.
For Pete Alonso in his right hand, his first at bat since Tuesday. Hit hard, but right to the second baseman.
After the Mets went 3-3 over the previous week, securing a .500 record during that stretch with a 4-1 victory against the Angels in Anaheim on Sunday Night Baseball, the New York Yankees and the New York Mets are now ranked 1st and 2nd respectively in our power rankings. That game, in which Pete Alonso hit his 5th home run already this month, marks the conclusion of a long 10-game West Coast road trip for the Mets, during which they play the Angels, the Dodgers and the Padres. The Mets came back from their road trip with a record of 5-5, and they will now play 3 games at Citi Field against the Brewers, who are in a terrible slump, before playing 4 games against the Marlins. 3 Dodgers 37-23, last week 2. DraftKings World Series odds 4.5-1. The Dodgers had a terrible week, finishing the week with a record of 2-4 after being swept by their rivals the Giants over the weekend at Oracle Park. This caused the Dodgers to fall 1 position in the most recent rankings. The high-powered offense of the Dodgers managed to score just 4 runs over the course of 3 defeats in San Francisco, bringing the team's run total to a new all-time low. The Dodgers will need to start hitting again and soon if they want to maintain their lead in the National League West over the Padres. 4 Padres, 37-24, last week 7. DraftKings World Series odds 13-1. To maintain the pressure on the Dodgers in the National League West rankings, the Padres entered the second game of a doubleheader against the Rockies at Petco Park on Saturday with a winning streak of 4 games in a row and 7 in their last 8 games. Then, though, they suffered a pair of defeats at the hands of Colorado and blew their opportunity to capitalize on the Giants' clean sweep of the Dodgers. 5 Astros, 37-23, last week 4. DraftKings World Series odds 6.5-1. The Astros are still in the top 5 in the American League despite having a tough homestand in which they finished 2-4. They avoided being swept by the suddenly red-hot Marlins thanks to a much-needed win on Sunday as they prepared to begin a 3-game journey to Arlington before returning to Minute Maid Park for a series against the White Sox. The Marlins have been red-hot as of late. Houston scored 9 runs on Sunday, which was 1 more than it had scored in its previous 3 games combined. What do you think about the power ranking? What is the team you want to see get out on top? Let us know in the comment section. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure that you'll love them. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.